development charges down so that your expenses overall and soft costs are going to be lower in order to be able to ensure that there's less risk,
Yeah.
you'll see the rates are a lot lower. But when
We're
you're
not
like,
talking
I need,
about debt, man. We're talking about equity.
I'm telling you the same thing. The
It's
people,
not even close to the same.
let's go Blue Jays.
Merger. Grand slam.
Oh!
This is the best day of my life, TK. I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
What was
my
like the
God.
atmosphere like?
It was so loud and insane. And then, like, we were losing, and you just felt like the whole vibe just shift.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh fuck, what the fuck? Oh God, what?" Everybody was probably like calculating how much they paid for their tickets at that point, you know?
And like the way Toronto fans are, like obviously when they were losing, it's like, yep, well, not we
That's
won't
it.
win the World Series. Like, there's just no way.
It's over.
It's over. We might as well
It's
give up now.
over.
And then as soon as you win one game, it's like we're gonna win it all. Of
Not
course we
even that.
are.
Not even that.
You
We were
know?
sitting there. Aiden is sitting beside me, and he's all nervous. We're down 2-0. He's biting his nails. He's freaking out. He like can't even think. He doesn't know what to do. Right? He's freaking out. And then Varsho hits a home run to tie the game, and it was like everybody went crazy. We were
Yeah.
back. We're winning the World Series. It was like
Yeah.
that's all it took, and then it was like from there on, it was insane.
Good.
Oh,
Well, for most people who aren't baseball fans,
yeah. Who cares?
we should get back onto the Canadian Real Estate Show, which happens to be
It
the best
happens to
show on
be.
planet Earth. But if you want to drop a call with me, there's a link down below in the description to book a 15-minute call.
Yes.
Daryl,
And you can check me out on my Substack, the Frankfort Report, and onethelma.com. You can check out if you want to look at what's going on. The building is ripe and ready. We are about, well, it's weird. Like, there's so many people calling, and people have been begging for months. I think maybe we're sold out already, TK. It's possible.
Hey guys, I'm back. I had surgery on this wrist, so that's why I was out for like a week or two. You had my dad's editing again, which is interesting. Anyway, these guys didn't tell you to like, comment, subscribe, so I'm here to do that. Many of you haven't done it already. What are you waiting for? This is the best Canadian real estate show. This is the Canadian real estate show. Just hit like, comment, subscribe. Just come on.
It is true. I mean, most people don't know it, but it is in fact the case. And you know,
I watched the other shows. I mean,
I
don't,
can't even watch the other shows. They
I've
watch
seen the
our
other-
show though.
I've
They
seen the
all
content
watch our
provided
show.
out there, and they're all great at what they do. But
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
Our numbers are not reflected in who watches our show. And you know what I think, TK?
tell me.
I think there are a lot of very important people that watch our show, TK. I don't think we just, we're not for the ordinary person, TK. We're
I
for
think we had
extraordinary people.
we hit both ends of the spectrum. Let's just say that
That is
the
probably
far
a
rights
fair
and the far
statement.
lefts, and the people in the
Far
middle.
out
They can
there.
watch other places. But like, what's going on? I mean, we got this
So much
dance
stuff going on.
around Trump. Like, this is like a big
That came out of
topic right now.
nowhere, didn't it? Like, I didn't expect anything like that
Listen,
crazy. Okay, we're done. Fuck
Dougie's
you.
got the gloves on. All right, Dougie's got the gloves on.
Does
He's
he?
throwing propaganda down there towards those Americans and going, "Hey,
Is
look
it
at what."
propaganda?
Well, I mean, it wants them to believe something, and that he definitely edited that video really well. You know?
Well, did you see the full speech?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the full speech was really talking to tariffs being a good thing for
I think that
neighbors.
the speech when you listen to it, it basically was like the president needs to be in charge because sometimes tariffs are necessary. And it's funny how they're doing semiconductors in the 90s with the Japanese. Like semiconductors just always seems to be a thing. You think they would have learned back then that we need to be making semiconductors here, but anyways,
Well,
what do I know?
I think they know all this stuff. You don't think that there's been a bunch of people that have been sitting there going like, this is not the best idea. Like doing it all there is probably not
We
like
might
in
need these one day. I think they
right.
just needed them for like cars and things that were like maybe they could justify,
Just in
that.
everything. Started being
Yeah.
in everything. That's like
Yeah.
when
But in the
Japan's
90s, right? Yeah.
right. Japan
Yeah.
was like electronics, everything for us, basically. They were our China first, right?
Yeah.
So, right. And that's why they have, so much baseball over there, I think, is because they're basically Americans in Japan. They're like an offshoot of America. And
Yeah.
then they kind of got thrown in the trash as China was like, hey, you know what? These Japanese guys are making a bit too much money and we can't really afford them anymore. And
Yeah.
they're kind of
And
smarter
they
than
don't like
us
each other.
now.
China,
Right.
China and Japan, they hate each other.
Right.
It's a big conflict between them.
But the US needed cheap labor again. Right. So they
Hmm.
moved on. And so I mean, the crazy thing, and we kind of touched on it last week, but like the rare earth mineral stuff from China was a big deal, really big deal. And, that's another case of maybe we shouldn't just buy everything from these guys, right? Like maybe we should find another source for these rare earth minerals that we
So,
need for everything.
sell everything or buy from China.
Well, they buy it all from China. China's the only country that really refines a lot of these minerals, right? So like
Sure.
they kind of monopolize the market. But you'd think like it's got to be. I know there's stuff in Canada. I don't know why we don't refine it here.
I
I don't
think
know
that's what
why
we're
we don't
working
do stuff.
on, like that's
We're
something that I
working on
think
everything.
is in the play. I mean, they have Carney's got a lot of things, opening up discussion about, especially for pipelines and stuff like that. But it just seems so daunting. It just seems so like trying to get stuff west into BC, from the west out east. Everything just seems like it's such a pain. And then obviously trying to get stuff down to the U.S. That's another chapter of this. But just if we focus just on the Trump announcement, that the trade war is over. I mean, he's pretty immature, so I'm pretty sure
Trade
like
war is over.
trade war negotiations are over with Canada.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure like he's immature and that he's gonna go back on his
pulling a hissy fit.
you know what I mean? Yeah, like he's gonna eventually just be like, well, they were over, but now they're back on.
Yeah,
You know, but it's kind of I don't know. Like I feel like Doug did the right thing here. I think that you've got to be able to poke the bear and you got to be able to get him to really want to make some changes. And I think that his emotional response shows that that is something that's a sensitive topic for him. He
right.
doesn't want the American people to believe that tariffs are bad.
This episode is brought to you by Shrubs.me.
They say AI is taking everyone's jobs, and honestly, no one knows whose is safe. But here's the thing. When you own your audience, your content, and your brand, you don't wait for someone else to save you. You build your own future. Shrubs puts everything you create in one beautiful hub. More reach, more fans, more income. Shrubs.me. Your future, your rules. And when you get there, I'll be right there with you, helping you thrive and grow.
No, of course he doesn't want them to believe it's bad.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, it doesn't seem like is their economy better? I mean, if you listen to him and you listen to some of these idiots, it sounds like things are just fantastic. And then, I don't know, you look
Their
at,
economy is up like 10% since pre-COVID, and ours is, I think it was like down zero point 0.4 or something like that. Don't quote me on that number, but it was like a pretty drastic difference what they've done over the last 5 years, or it might have been the last decade compared to ours. No, it wouldn't have been the decade. It would have been the last since pre-COVID. Their economy has been steadily rising, where ours has basically been receding. I mean, we're heading into the worst recession Canada's seen in a long time.
we're heading into it. Like we were talking years ago about being in a recession. Like I
I'm not
feel
saying we're
like
not in one, technically, but it's just the way that we calculate it. And basically, are we at the point? Are we at the worst of it yet? And the answer is no. We haven't hit the worst of it yet.
yeah, we're
We're
not
just
in a
getting
recession
started.
yet, everybody, because when we go back and we revise the numbers from 6, 8, and 9 months ago, it's
Hmm.
it changes everything basically, and everything is fine, right? Because we can go back and change the numbers, and you guys all base your stuff on the numbers we release at the time, which is this
Yeah.
is the best system ever created. If you're not really trying to accomplish anything at all. Okay. It's just
Why
a
do we
whole
have
bunch of
numbers? We don't know
craziness.
why we got numbers for a reason. I think the immigration numbers. I think that was why um,
Those are real.
the recession indicators weren't there for so long. Is that when we're
People
bringing
were
in
still
that many
coming.
people, and then
Right.
these little small businesses are getting supported, and that you've got a little bit of more economic output that maybe we should have. We can put on a piece of paper that we're not in a recession, but ultimately and you think about it now with the population growth, we're still seeing a contracting economy, which means it's really bad. And I'm talking to people like this isn't just like the automotive announcements and now GM's got 1,000 jobs that's lost, and obviously the whole Stellantis stuff that we talked about last week. But I'm talking to a lot of people about what's going on at their work, and like there's bank layoffs. There's lots of job layoffs that people are looking at older people. I follow a lot of the tech stuff on social media. I just, for some reason, I love looking at the um, like offers that people get. So like all the different tech levels, you know what I mean, that you go through in different tech companies and the big ones, Tesla, Meta, Google, that kind of stuff. And that you see, like, and you compare, and people will talk and they'll say, well, like, this was the offer I got last year. How come I'm not getting that? And then you can read all the comments and people are saying, well, they're laying people off and this guy gets. And so the tech who had a major hiring spree, right, back in 21, 22, is totally shutting down in so many ways, not just
Yeah.
probably from AI, but also just because of the economy,
No,
right?
there was unsustainable growth. It was like it
Yeah.
was a frenzy. They were all trying to steal talent from each other and just like
That the AI
get.
stuff is that's still happening, yeah. But these guys would just be like the regular employees, right?
Well, I wonder what happens when the whole tech thing explodes. Like a lot of people are starting to talk about AI being a bubble, just like the dot-com bubble.
Of course
And
it is.
well, of course it is. I
Of
mean,
course it is. It'll blow up more than it needed to, just like EFTs. It doesn't mean that like Ethereum's no good. It was just like that one little part of Ethereum was a bubble, and the
NFTs, the
NFTs,
NFTs.
sorry, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
NFTs, and that exploded. And then so yeah, AI will be the same thing. They'll have some sort of bubble, and then of course it'll carry on like it's supposed to, which is awesome.
Well, but I mean, what's that going to do to the economy? Because the tech companies and the banks were the ones that were really driving things for so long, right? And then they're all scaling back.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know how anybody can afford anything right now unless you are very, very, very wealthy. Like very wealthy. Like can we I hate to talk about the baseball game again, but like the tickets for this baseball game, TK. I mean,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm looking around going, fuck, everybody here must be loaded or have somebody
What's
close to
the
them that
what's the
is
math on
loaded,
that?
right?
What's the math on that? So let's do average. Let's go 55,000 people.
No, there was 45,000 people there.
45,000 people.
Yeah.
Average ticket price. What should we do?
I don't even know. It's got to be like $1,000. People were paying
No, it's got to be way more
5,000.
than that.
Yeah. Listen, I paid, I guess with taxes and everything, like 12.50 a ticket for not very good tickets, mind you.
Let's go
People
50. Let's go 1,500. That's $67.5 million gate.
You should have seen the lineup to buy this hat, man.
Hey,
It was up to the 500 level, okay? From the main floor all the way up the ramps to the 500 level to get into the Jay's shop. It was insane.
but
Thank
how long did you
God.
wait?
Well, thank God, we're walking up the ramp right at the very beginning and we see a guy that I know, right? And he's like, "Hey, come in here. You want to join us in the line?" I'm like, "I don't know if that's a good idea." He goes, "Bro, it's up to the top of this thing. Like just
Yeah,
come in here."
no way.
And we felt really bad, but we saved at least an hour. We
That was
went
your brother. He was waiting in line for you.
and it was funny. The girl goes, "Just hug me like we've known each other forever." And I'm like, "Okay, hey, how you doing?" Right? And we
Oh
just
my
kind of
God.
stayed with them. It was so funny.
Yeah.
But like it
So
was
is that an
insane.
economic indicator?
Well,
Jay's tickets.
what I want to say is like on top of the gate, like the amount of money they must be making just on merchandise, and that's just at
Yeah.
the one game. Like across the country, people are
Yeah.
buying these hats and these jerseys and Savage jerseys, and like
Yeah.
people are going crazy right now. Is it a sign of the economy? Interestingly, I don't think so. If we go back
People
to
people
the
were borrowing money to buy those tickets.
a lot of people put those
Right?
on
Like it
credit
was,
cards
yeah,
for
yeah, it
sure.
wasn't like, everybody's like, saved up in order to be able to buy their Jays tickets. All of a sudden, it's just like, oh shoot, I got to be there. I got no money, but I'm going into debt so that I can be at that game.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I
Good
don't know when this is
decision. It was a great
happening again,
decision. That was a
right?
great game. Good decision. Yeah.
Well, it turned out that it was a great decision, whatever you paid.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not fair, right? It's really not fair because most people can't do that. And
Yeah.
most people that can, like, I don't know, they're not like as much fun at a baseball game. Although I'll tell you, everybody, I had a pregnant girl beside me. She goes, I just told my right after that Barger grand slam. Okay.
Yeah.
She goes, I just told my husband that if Barger hits a grand slam, we're naming the kid Addison. So crazy. And then he hits the grand slam.
I will reserve my comments on that one.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
who'd
don't know.
you name me after, Mom? Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
What
Why'd
did
you name me that?
his tongue's like hanging out his mouth. Hey, Mom, where'd I get my name from? Well, he's about to hit a grand slam at the game 1 of the World Series, and I
That's
named
right.
Addison. Oh, that's great, Mom. Thanks a lot. There's 6 Addisons in my class this
Yeah,
year,
there's
Mom.
800 Addisons
You know what I
in my
mean? Like,
class.
way to go.
Well, I don't know. Tickets are crazy. It wasn't fair, but I justified it, and I'm sure most people, whatever the financial situation, justified it as this. We don't know if this is going to happen again, right? Like
Sure.
I've been alive, and the Leafs have never got there, right?
Sure.
The Jays, they got there twice in my lifetime. I didn't get to go to games because, well, I'm dealing with that right now. I think, some trauma around that at the moment, TK, to be quite honest, because I should have been at
You
those
were old
games.
enough. Yeah,
I
you
was
were
a
old
big
enough.
enough baseball fan. Somebody should have taken me. But anyways,
Yeah.
that's for another day.
All right, let's save that for the next show because I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about Jays over the next couple
we'll
weeks.
get deep into it. But now you
Yeah.
asked a question if it's a sign
Okay.
of the economy. And that's interesting because I looked back, TK, and if you go on my
Yeah.
Substack, you'll see that the economy and the real estate market back when the Blue Jays won the World Series last time was
100 has
kind
to be
of the
correlated.
same, but it was kind of the same as right now. It was like, listen, 1993, the market was fucked. It was crashed, right?
Yep.
Interest rates were high. Builders were going bankrupt. Like it was a fucking nightmare. Inventory
So
was
obviously the Jays are going to win back to back again, and obviously the market still has a few more years to recover because I mean those two things have to be connected.
they have to be
They
connected.
have to be
There's
connected.
no way that they can't be connected. But if you're asking if it's a sign of the economy, well,
Yep.
I don't think so. I think anomalies like this, people, they exist in a vacuum, right? Like, look, there's only maybe 7 of these games and only in 2 cities every year. It's not hard to justify wanting to go to it desperately, right?
Sure.
It's not like we're the Yankees where it happens every other
But like I
year.
said, there's people who bought those tickets with debt because
Tons
people
of
are in
debt.
debt right now. The
And
situations that we're in right now,
They're
the
losing their
situations-
house right now, too.
the situations that we're in right now. So we had a lady this week who she was has 5 properties, all with private mortgages on them.
What kind
Each
of
one of
properties?
them, each one of
Condos?
them, a couple condos, a couple houses. None of them have equity in them. And then she got a
Zero.
private mortgage for $75,000 that is cross collateralized on all 5 because I guess she had to make her payments. She's got another pre-con closing, and she's coming to us saying, "Can you lend me the 75 grand? I got to pay back that private lender."
Oh my
And
God.
I think the market's going to go up, so I'm hanging on. I don't want to sell.
Hanging on.
Yeah,
Wow.
crazy, right?
How did she
Private lenders are willing to lend money based on appraisal. And so, appraisals, when they come in, okay, I was at appraisal the other day, and it was it's a land deal. So I got 2 properties, side by side, land assembly, selling it for commercial development. Right now it's residential. It's going to be rezoned. And I met the appraiser there and I went through all that kind of stuff. And he's asking me for all the info, right? What's the rent? Is it a legal duplex?
Why are you meeting the guy?
Because there's a lot of tenants there and my seller couldn't. So we just wanted to make sure that the tenants cooperated, and they did. I got him a number. And so bottom line, and that's rare, that happens. But bottom line is, like he's getting the information from the guy who's got a lot of interest in this appraisal coming in at the right price.
Yeah, always.
Let's
It's
just
so
say
dumb.
that, like I'm making sure that this deal goes through no matter what I can. And so, painting the best pictures. Like these are like dumpy places too, but I'm just like, yeah, like this place here, it's fine. Like this is just like a little carpet staining and stuff like that. But otherwise, like when these guys leave and this cleans up, it's a beautiful place, you know.
Mhm.
And so that's the issue, right? Is that when you get a private mortgage and they get the appraisal to come in, there's a little bit of a variance. It's hard to predict. It's hard to assume. We're in a falling market right now. So anybody who's actually looking at what their value is looking at old data, and that data is not very reliable. It's not the
But
same as today.
when the hell were there? What private lenders were given 100% financing?
It's not 100% financing. You just missed the point. They were financing it
Yeah,
80%, maybe
yeah.
75%, whatever their loan to value was,
Oh, and
based
then
on the appraised value.
right,
But the actual value of the property after we come in and look at the properties is the same as what the debt is because they're paying
equity's
interest only
gone.
payments.
Right,
The
okay,
equity's gone. So it's
and the equity's
100%
gone.
finance. And then they go and some other idiot private lender goes, hey, it's a gamble. I'm going to give you 14% interest on a $75 loan. I'm going to cross collateralize it on all five of these properties. Got to be some equity in one of them, right?
But what moron even signs that loan for only 75 grand? Like, if you're going to take that loan, you better up that number, no?
The owner.
Well, how long is
That's probably all
75
she could
grand going to
get.
last?
That's
Come
probably all she
on.
could get. No one was
What
willing
a,
to give her anymore.
like, come
There's no
on.
equity, Darryl.
Some people are just so crazy. They're just hanging on and they're swinging
That's
in
what they're
the
doing. And she's like,
corners.
the market's gonna go up further, and we're gonna get out of this mess. And we're just like, no, you're not.
It's so
And then
crazy
there's a pre-con. She's got a pre-con closing.
coming up.
I know. Did you see the story that Uncle Ron I sent you? Did you listen to it or no?
Maybe. I
Okay,
watch
this is
most
what
of
it
his
is.
shit. Yeah.
He tried to disguise it as Irish people, but I think we all know the communities that bought it, but I guess we shouldn't say it. So they all went up to some northern community outside the city and paid 1.6 to $2 million because this builder was like, "Hey, we think that this is a great opportunity in this small town of wherever." And in the end, everyone went in there and bought, assuming that they were going to flip and assign. And there's like 30 people from this community who all know each other, I guess, or connected now some way. And of course, the properties are worth 900 to 1.1 or something like that. The builder's taken a $250,000 haircut because he gave them all a VTB,
Oh,
right?
God.
Because when he couldn't close, he was like, okay, I'll give you the mortgage, which is crazy because he had that kind of equity in the deal. And then he's like, all right, well, now it's 18 months later. I want my money. And the prices have gone down even further.
Why? Who's this? Where's this? Do we have names? Do we
No,
have
we can't
company
get into we
names?
can't get any information because Ron's keeping it a secret there. Uncle
Oh,
Ron
Ron's
is,
keeping it a
he's a
secret?
professional. He's a professional. He may just look a
Oh, we're
little
gonna
bit rough around
dig.
the edges, but Uncle Ron's a professional.
We're gonna dig into that, TK. We're gonna
And,
dig into that.
and that's the type of scenarios that are out there,
Well,
you
it's
know?
funny though, because okay, so yes, you have that scenario rampant everywhere, and you also have the inverse or the reverse or the
Inverse, reverse,
opposite of
opposite.
that.
Mm,
Well, you have luxury condo buildings, boutiques that are selling, TK. You have luxury homes, $8 million plus houses that are actually moving quite
hmm
well at the moment. And there are
Yeah,
multiple of these like really high-end buildings that are regularly selling units right now, TK.
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
That's a great project. One Thelma.
One Thelma, TK. It's the
Yeah.
cream of the crop, man. How
I got an
lucky
offer going out this weekend over 3 million on a property from one of my
for
buyers
sure.
in a good central Toronto neighborhood. So it's like there are people out there who are like, hey, I still need a place to live. And prices are a lot lower than they were before. And my job is stable and I got some money. If you're in the stock market, you're doing well. I've seen some crazy portfolios grow over the last few years. And if
Yeah.
they've got the right stocks in there, like they got so much money, like they're richer than ever.
Well, I think I think there's a pretty specific buyer for most of these. I think, most of them are in areas that have older, very affluent people that, are living in
There's,
outsized homes, right? That
sure.
have cash, lots of it, right?
Yeah.
Lots of assets, and, they own their house and they're not reliant on mortgage rates and what the economy's doing. They're
Yeah.
more reliant on what they want and what they need, right?
Yeah.
Where they where they want it, right?
Yeah.
And this is pretty typical for cycles where, when other things are crashing, if you have something very desirable, there are people in a crash making more money than they ever have before,
Yeah,
right? Especially, there's people in the stock market that actually love it when it goes down, right?
sure.
Most people,
Buyers.
well, if you're a real investor and you're really invested in that stock that you're in, you're not just a trader, right? Like if it goes on sale, why are you not buying more of it if you really believe in that thing, right? It's
Sure.
like it makes sense, but most people don't invest like that, right? Most
No.
people don't invest like that.
But whatever,
But
you got your Nvidia and your Tesla stock and your TFSA, and you're laughing right now, right? So
well, that's
I
a
think
whole
that
other scam, but
I think that's a big part of the equation. But yeah,
how
parents
that
help
goes.
is a lot of the people that I deal with, the young people in their 30s, they got lots of parents help, and when the parents are wealthy, they don't have they're insulated from recession.
Well, it
They've never
feels
had to
different.
worry about money in their life before, and now that they've got a great job, they graduated from great programs, they're professionals, and they've got incomes to support the debt, and their
Yeah.
parents, as far as resources go, in many different ways. I've had most of the people I deal with are getting parental support in some way, shape, or form. That's the truth.
Well, it's kind of
Most like the young
mandatory.
first time buyers, it's very, very, very common.
If you look at numbers and you're realistic, it's very hard to make them work for most people that
Yeah,
have most jobs and like, normal everyday lives where the two people have just like good, well-paying jobs. They work hard, they have kids, they got cars, and it's like you can't fucking get anywhere,
yeah,
right? You're going backwards because now the Jays are in the fucking World Series and you got to spend 4 grand on tickets, right? And you don't give a fuck. And like
yeah,
there's people out there losing their houses now that were at that Jay game for sure
for sure.
on the last little bit of line of credit, or it's like forget the trip
Listen, there's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I missed the 92-93 game and I regret it.
and I had to
So
buy more Bitcoin while I was at
and
it.
inflation being up isn't a good sign either, right? So now when we get our inflation numbers come back and that it's up to
Yeah.
2.4%, and that food costs and everything like that are big indicators, nearly 4%
2.4%. What a
yearly inflation.
fucking lie.
This has to question whether or not the Bank of Canada, I think it's on the 27th, is it Monday, that they're going to
29th.
make an announcement on the next rate changes. And I mean, it's likely that they may not change. Everybody was saying we're going back down again another quarter point,
Mhm.
right?
And either way, the market's still going to keep sliding slowly downwards
Yeah.
for longer. Although,
If and they're talking about some Bank of Canada, they're talking about recalculating inflation to not include mortgage interest,
oh,
because
what
they're
a,
already starting to see those signs where they're saying,
uh-oh.
how do we keep this inflation rate a little bit lower so that we can justify lowering
Right.
rates again?
Let's make a new basket, shall we?
So
That
we
doesn't
change the
include
basket up a little bit.
anything.
Yeah.
And let's just include uh
Jays tickets,
well, then it's off the charts. What
yeah,
is
EV
there
vehicles,
is there anything
and
you could include that has not like is there anything that's gone down on this planet in the last little while? Anything cost less, TK?
the
I
price of
guess
marijuana.
housing, the price. That
There you
is
go.
probably in
Right?
fact very true.
That's in the
I wouldn't
Canadian
know about
basket.
that, but
That's
TK,
in
I'll take
that's
your word.
that's in the Canadian basket. you know, like
That's the Canadian
dollar
basket.
beers and $5 joints. All right,
Right.
guys, we're lower the rates. Lower the rates.
I
You
guess
know?
bourbon has come down,
Yeah.
right? Or I guess there's no bourbon anymore in this country. Okay, so hold on a sec. So yeah, inflation has ticked up, which is no surprise to anybody that's in human form and living, right? That's no shock. The fact that it's only 2.4% must come to a shock to people that used to buy steak. TK. Do you buy steak? Are you super rich? Do you guys eat steak all the time?
I steal steak from my neighbors. That's usually how I get my side.
Hey,
They just have it on the barbecue
smells
outside, and
like steak.
when they go inside to be able to, you know what I mean, get the
Hey,
tongs.
where the hell did the steak go again? Those fucking
I hop
squirrels.
over the fence. I grab the
Fucking...
steak off the barbecue. You guys don't do that?
Oh,
You guys don't do that?
is that how you get your steak? See,
Yeah,
this
I
is
just take one at a time, just
clever,
one at a
clever.
time. So they don't even notice it. They say, honey, I thought I put 4 steaks out there. No, there's only 3
Fucking
on here.
squirrels again.
Hey?
TK smells
Yeah,
like steak. How come?
right.
Right.
Hey, listen, this is secrets of the
No,
neighborhood.
but I see people posting crazy prices for beef. It's absolutely insane. And I mean,
Yeah.
you go to the restaurant now, and even at the keg, like a little fucking fillet, the tiny little one that's like 3 bites is $64 or something crazy.
Yeah. That's good
It's
though. It's nice to go to the keg every once in a while,
oh, it's so good.
right?
But then you
Every
get
once in a
there,
while,
you go
you gotta
there,
treat
and
yourself.
you're excited. You go there, and like the servers are well, I won't say that word. The server's not like, up to par. And on top of it, it's like
Really? I think the keg service is great. I don't trash
sometimes
the keg.
I'm not trashing the keg. I'm
Yeah.
trashing everything.
It's
Everything
a nice
is,
place. We go to the keg when we go out for dinner, me and
I
you.
know, but
Okay. So like,
I mean, because it's like not shit, but it's not like
it's
great,
not great. That's what it is. That's
right?
exactly
It's
what the
like,
keg is.
it's
It's
not
just like it's
shit.
like good enough, and I know that I'm gonna get a seat.
I think they should sponsor the show, right?
You know
The
what I mean?
keg, it's not shit, but it's not great.
And you can get a seat.
And you can definitely get a seat
That's what
nowadays.
the problem is. So,
You
all
used to have to
right.
wait in line for that shit. Okay, so hold on
So,
a sec. So inflation is a lie. It
okay,
always has
inflation's a
been a
lie.
lie.
Agreed.
Total
Bank of
bullshit.
Canada rate cuts. I don't predict anymore. I
I don't
think that
know.
most people are still saying they're going to lower the rates, but a
Cut,
lot of
cut,
people
cut.
switched teams after the inflation numbers came out,
And all of a sudden, we got no negotiations with our biggest customer, which has to
which
do
should influence
something.
them
It
to
should do
basically
something.
say, hey, we need to look at what the economy is going to be doing, but they are mainly focused on inflation. So
Well,
we'll see.
so while all this is happening, TK, it seems, and I don't know if this is in fact true, but it is. I did see it from numerous sources that Toronto proper condo inventory is shrinking.
Mm,
What?
uh,
Does that sound right to you? Because some, I forget
okay.
who, and it doesn't matter, but
It
some
doesn't matter.
research company that,
Sure.
you know,
Looks at
did
stuff.
something
Yeah.
somehow.
I'm not saying it did or it didn't because it's true. The condo
Right.
market actually was very strong. When we looked at the numbers, the HPI didn't show this, but when you looked at the year over year decreases, detached and semis were actually the highest decrease, and condos aren't decreasing as much anymore. But the HPI is a different thing. The HPI, they balance things out for like size of the condos, number of bedrooms, and all that kind of stuff. And condos showed the biggest decrease year over year compared to anything else. But
In
that
pricing, in
that aside,
pricing,
in pricing, yeah. But
we're not
that
talking about
put
pricing.
aside. I know,
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
wait.
On the listing side,
Yeah,
okay, you have a lot of sellers who were trying very hard to sell their condo. And eventually what
how
happens
hard?
is like for months, that's what I mean. So
Was
for
that?
months they're trying to
That
sell their
sounds
condo
difficult. Yeah.
and that they're there on the market and they're going, I need this much money in order to be able to sell to get out because I don't want to be in the condo market anymore. But as that price comes down and the realtor goes, well, 600, 550, 500, we need to list it at 450 or, whatever the numbers are, they're finally going, it's better off for me just to rent. Because
Rent
if
it
I'm going to
out.
sell it for that low, right? And I walk away with nothing. I walk away with less. I have to pay to be able to get out of this deal. Eventually you go, I got no
Because that
choice but
guy's
to
sitting there
rent
going, yeah,
and cover my negative cash flow.
he's sitting there going, okay,
So
I could probably afford like $600 a month if I had to. So like if I get $3,000 a month,
that's not how sellers think. Sellers are delusional. They're in denial and
but
that
at
they're
a
going to
certain
go,
point, you have to
my
start
view
making.
is the best and I'm going to get 700. So they listed it at the wrong price for many months.
Yeah.
Their agent staged it and did open houses and had all sorts of bunch of stuff that doesn't work. And then the agent said, all right, we got to reduce it to 499. We're going to do an offer date. And the seller's like, I still want my 700. And on offer date, they got 3 offers and the highest one was 520. And then the seller was like, I'm renting it out. Forget it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying a whole bunch of people simultaneously gave up and decided to throw it in the rental pool or just
Yeah.
take it down and give it a breather because that works.
Rental pool. Most of them
Rental pool.
Most of them rental pools.
So I wonder where they came up with this idea that the condo inventory is shrunk. Maybe they took out one
No, the
bedrooms
new active
and
listings have shrunken down. So it's not like because they took them off the market, not because they all got sold
how
for
do
great
you know?
prices.
How do you
Because that's what I'm witnessing.
No,
I
not
know.
that they got sold. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't sell, so they
Yeah.
came off. Okay, so you're a genius, right? I didn't even
Active
think of that.
listings are down, but
So they just came off.
that's the like
Fuck
underlying
this.
tone
Enough.
and situations that a lot of these people are in. So I had a listing. Okay, so I had this listing on. I'll try not to use numbers. I had it listed at a price that was comparable to the last sale on the street, but mine needed some renovations. My guys had already bought a property, and that they had bought it, but they had a condition on the sale of their property with another agent way out of town. So I said, great, I got this many days to get it sold. So I get these offers, and I got them at the time an offer they hated, but now in retrospect, a great offer. They didn't want to take it. So I asked them about this great house that they bought, and they were like, we don't really love this house. And I said, well, you overpaid for it, just so you know. Okay. So after about 2 months, they finally came back and said, hey, we haven't got a better offer. We haven't got the right offer. We only got that offer we didn't like. We still want to sell, but what do you think we should do? I said, drop that deal and tell your agent up north to find you like, a better one. So they found a better one for like 200 grand cheaper that they love even more, that they're in love with.
Yeah.
So they get the same condition again. So they said, Tika, we got to get this sold. So of course we reduced the price. I went back to that offer that we got, and that guy was like, listen, our house is worth less now. We got to offer you less. So my guy's like, screw you, buddy.
Fuck you,
How
buddy.
dare you offer me less than that crappy offer that you gave before?
Yeah.
So we reduced the price again. Then he goes, all right,
Oh.
fine. Go back to those guys. They said, oh my God, Tika, I'm so sorry. I'm so like, I can't believe I have to tell you this, but we have to reduce it again. In total, $110,000 from the original offer to where we are now because our home has gone down. And he's
Hold on.
right.
So where did we start and where are we
I
now?
can't tell the numbers. 110
Oh.
less. So the bottom line is, okay,
Is it big? Is that a lot?
no,
Is
it's
that a
under
big
2 million.
percentage? Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So now the seller, my seller, is like, what the hell's going on? So I'm like, geez, like, do I really tell them to take this offer now? I've tried to get them the money that they wanted. It's not out there. They did save 200 grand on their purchase, and they love that house even more, the one up north. So they still make the numbers work as far as like what they're going to net and all that kind of stuff. And then I just get like this abundance of calls like, hey, would your client take this? Hey, would your client take this? Hey, would your client take this? And it was 100 grand less than the offer that we were now going to accept. And then on top of that, another agent who saw the property was like, okay, we're going to be interested. We're going to make an offer. Da, 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 da. And she called and she was like 150 grand lower than all those ones. So I was like, guys, if we don't take this offer, the next offers are coming in 100 grand less, like we just experienced over the last couple months. So they took it this week. And so they
Crazy.
sold for $110,000 less than the offer that we had 2 or 3 months ago, maybe.
Wow.
Same buyers.
Wow.
Same buyers.
Crazy.
That's the life.
And they
That's what
didn't,
we're in.
nobody won, right? Nobody won. Everybody just dragged everything down, right? Each person pulled the person ahead of them down a couple $100,000.
Yeah. Are you a real estate agent and you're looking to make a change anywhere in Ontario? Guess what? We're hiring. Frankly and Associates, #1 team in the GTA for all Remax teams, #1 team for all teams from all companies for number of units sold throughout Toronto. So if you're looking to make a change, best decision I ever made was to join Frankly and Associates. Go to jointeamleo.com and we can set up a call. And that buyer will find out later on that their house is worth even less than they thought, and they'll be putting it on the market. You got to sell first. Like selling first is just like the right way to go.
But people they like, what am I gonna do if I don't find something
know,
else?
but-
And I don't want to rent, and then I got to put my stuff in storage. And yeah, but TK,
Yeah.
for most people, that is a fucking ordeal, man. Moving
know.
sucks.
But if
shit,
you
man.
don't want to get caught, like a guy on my team, they did a 9-month closing. So he had 9 months after they bought to sell their home, and it was like a luxury property.
Doesn't
And it's
matter
gone
how
down
long.
like $500,000 in that time because the seller just took his sweet time. He's like, I got 9 months. What do I need to worry about? He lost a fortune. They still haven't sold it,
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
these are all the situations that are out there that, people need to understand are very, very, very like serious. Like, don't screw up in this market. It was like when the market changed, you went and paid this huge price and thought you were going to sell your home right afterwards. And then, of course, you waited 3 months, and then that was like July 2022, and the prices went down hundreds of thousands. Now you can't close. You don't have the money, the appraisal, all that kind of stuff. Take the risk out of it. Buy and sell like right at the same time. Use a condition, sale your property, or sell first. Don't get into this like everything's going to be fine in 3 months from now, and that I won't have a problem selling my home. You will have a problem selling your home. I'm telling you right now.
People
You'll
are
have a problem.
greedy. I have this neighbor. I think we talked about him before. There, we were walking their dogs, and he pulled me over, and he was asking me about the market. Because do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because he has 6 condos. I
Yeah,
think I
yeah,
wrote a
yeah.
Substack about it that a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah,
enjoyed.
yeah. Don't talk to Darryl and I if you don't want your business publicized, because just the
It's
way it
not like
goes.
that many people will see this. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
The guy. So again, we're at the park, and I try and be on my phone when I'm out walking the dog, so I don't have to interact with the neighbors because
Yeah.
I live on a
They get a
street
hold of
where
you.
everybody has a dog, and they're
Yeah.
also friendly. And
Yeah.
TK, like I can be friendly, but I don't want to be. Like I just want to go about my
Yeah.
thing. I don't
If
want
you're
to
Daryl's
walk this
neighbor and
fucking
you're
dog.
watching this show,
I'm
just let him
sorry.
walk his dog.
Yeah,
Why you got
listen.
to talk to him every single time and tell him about the color of your dog's poop and how many
Yeah,
times you had
like
to take her to the vet last week?
ask me
And
what my dog's name is, if it's a boy. Like how many
yeah,
times, honestly? And I don't remember your dog. Okay, I
no,
just don't.
I've
I
never
don't
seen that dog before.
care about your dog. Anyways, what was I talking about?
The
Um,
Substack, the condo market, he's
Oh,
crashing,
right. So he
losing his.
pulls me over again. Thank you, TK, for listening. So he pulls me over and he's like, so like how's the market now? Again, this is probably, I don't know, a few months since the last time. And I said, well, I don't think it's any better. I'm pretty sure it's worse right now.
Mhm.
Like you have to remember, I live in this weird bubble where like I really truly believe that I have a product that people will buy right now while I'm explaining to people how fucked the market is. It's a real mind fuck even for me, okay? But
Yeah,
it's really honestly how I think. I mean, I'm not delusional, although I might be delusional. I have no
we'll
idea,
find
right?
out.
We're
Yeah.
going to find out, but like I mean, the phone's ringing off the hook. There's leads coming in all over the place. I think I'm right. But when I'm explaining to somebody else, right? Like they come to me because they know I'm a developer and I got this show and I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about. And I truly believe the condo market, the normal one, is totally fucked. And I can't see an end in sight. Like I really can't. That's just the honest to God truth. But so this guy's talking to me and I'm trying to like articulate it in a way because I don't want him to feel bad either or stupid and like or like his he's going to lose everything. But he's got six
You're
condos
lying to
he's
him.
trying to sell. Well, I'm not lying to him because as I dig into the story, like him and a few guys bought them in 2018. So I was like, so what's the problem? Like the problem is that some stuff is actually cheaper than it was in 2018, which is pretty fucking crazy. Props to Mr. The D Trent because he called that a long time ago, right, TK? We have to
Uh-huh.
admit that.
Okay.
But like even if you bought in 2018, you could be underwater with your condo purchases. So I'm like, where are these? He goes, all around Toronto. I go, how big are they? He goes, 4 and 5 bedrooms. And I said, what? He goes, yeah, 4 and 5 bedrooms. I go, what the fuck is who's buying 4 and 5 bed? Where do those things are these? Is this guy crazy? Like, what the hell? TK, have you seen a 5 bedroom condo?
I got one on the market right now as a power sale. It's a 5 bedroom condo.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Where? Where do
This
these
is a
exist?
listen, I should be promoting it, but it's in Mississauga and it's a power sale.
No
And
way.
if you're looking to, you know, maybe get shot at night or have like really, close proximity to your drug dealer, then this would be a great option for you. But if you're not,
If you're
maybe you should look
not,
at some other options.
okay. So
Yeah.
so it's in a nice neighborhood then.
It's a great spot.
It's a great spot.
It's a great spot. Yeah.
Come on down to Crazy TK's Meth Festival where you can get this. What is it? A condo?
It's a condo. Yeah. It's a 2-story condo with 5 bedrooms.
Jesus Christ, 5 bedrooms. And it's not like a townhouse that's called a condo because it's like a condo
It's a condo.
townhouse.
It's a condo. It's a 2-story condo in a building. Yeah.
What the hell? Investors are buying a 5 bedroom. What are you thinking you're gonna
So
do?
where did your guy get that? Where
I
is it?
don't know. The phone rang, wink, wink, and I had to
Yeah.
go. It was like enough already. How
Yeah.
many times can you explain watch my show if you want to know what I think? Follow my Substack. Like how
Right?
many,
I can't
how
say
many
this to every single
times,
person I see.
right?
Take my
It's
card, follow me on X, and you'll
every
learn everything you
meeting.
need to know about me.
Everybody wants to
All right, I
pick
want to
my
finish
brain.
our topics because we got so many different things. The
I
BC
don't know
ruling,
how
that's a
great.
big one.
What's the BC ruling? We
So the
didn't
B
even
the
talk
B
about this.
the B I know. So in BC, you've got the natives, you've got the rights to the
Oh,
land around the
yes.
river. And of course, now it's going through the courts, and everybody, has been talking about how, this infringes upon our, title system and fee simple ownership of properties. And that if this goes through and it isn't challenged, then, what land is not going to be up for grabs from Aboriginal tribes? What land? Like they might as well just take the whole country at that point in time and just be like, all right, we're paying rent. We're paying rent. Let's go.
Everything like now before
Yeah.
anything starts, it's like you we have to pay tribute to like the Okanagan, Iroquois for this land. Go
You
fuck
know what?
yourselves.
Listen, I'm telling
We
you
took
right
it.
now, there's no way that this is gonna go the way that everybody is afraid of it happening.
How is it
There,
even this
there,
far along?
it will get to the Superior Court eventually if necessary in order for this to be squashed, where someone's gonna go, all right, listen,
Um,
these people own that land, and this English law and contract law is in place for that title to be, without encumbrances. So I'm really sorry. You guys can use the water. You guys can do what you need to
you
do
can
in these
sell your
public lands.
cigarettes, you know,
But at the end of the
have your little
day, it's
casinos.
this isn't going to go any further. And I guess like I don't know, it's a
Shut up.
sensitive topic. You know what I mean? It
Is
is what
it?
it is. It is a sensitive topic, but like
Why?
enough is
Why?
enough. Like come on.
You didn't win the war. You
There's
got
billions
beat.
of there's
Move
billions
over.
there's billions of dollars that get wasted.
You don't
It's
pay
sad
tax.
it's sad what's happening with those communities, Daryl. It's very sad. Those
Why? What's
communities,
happening?
Daryl, you don't have the Truth and Reconciliation Day, the residential schools, all that kind of stuff. So you
Okay,
got to
so
be
a little
sensitive to
bit of
that. I get it. You got to be sensitive to
shenanigans
that. I
back in the
know.
day.
But as far as the land ownership parts,
Yeah.
that should not be on the negotiation table. Okay?
Listen, there's
The whole
bones
point of
under
the whole
everywhere.
listen, Daryl, the whole point of the Truth and Reconciliation is not
I
just the
don't even know what that
schools,
is.
but also September 30th. But also
That the
where an orange
alien
shirt.
thing? The
Oh,
aliens?
oh my God. People are going to kill you in the comments.
Are they going to
So,
kill me in the comments? Because I
residential
don't know.
schools.
I heard the residential
Okay,
schools.
so there's like a day now that Trudeau introduced, which Trudeau is
Of
such
course
a
he did.
yeah,
Little
right? He's really screwed us on this.
fucking
That's the problem,
piece of
right?
shit.
You need
Dave
somebody
Carey
just to go in
Paley.
there and just be like, here's the rules, accept it or you don't. It's kind of like enabling. You're kind of enabling people in a sense, where it's like, don't worry, we'll always take care of you. And then it actually pushes their communities further down. Anyways, complicated topic. You and I do not understand. We never will. Let's avoid this topic. But the bottom line is this.
You brought it up.
I know the Superior Court will rule eventually that these land rights are constitutional, and that we're going to be able to have our land
Who's-
titles the way that they are.
But
Now,
who's pushing this thing? Who the hell's in charge of this?
the tribe in BC. So anybody who lives in this area in Richmond, BC right now, their properties right now are not being sold. Like no one's going to buy that. Because if you
Who's
buy it,
selling? Who's the owner?
the owner or the individual landowners along
No,
the
but-
river and in the areas.
But they don't know they got
They own
letters
the
saying
land.
you don't own the land.
No,
anymore.
they didn't. No, they didn't. They own the property still. It's just that the court ruling shows that maybe the Aboriginal tribe has rights to those lands.
Who
and
was the
that
judge? Like Big Leaf Tree Chief?
probably right? Probably.
Giant Smoke.
So, anyways, I don't think people need to panic about that. It's not coming to Ontario. It's not coming here. It'll get
right.
squashed out there. But if you live in Richmond, BC right
Everything
now,
starts out there.
I wouldn't
first.
sell your property right now because nobody's going to
Holy
pay you anything
shit.
for it until this gets resolved.
This is crazy. Can you
I know.
imagine? Well, it's no different than the government coming in and buying everything along the TTC, like the new.
But they pay you.
They pay you. Well,
They pay you, Daryl. That's the difference.
We let them live, TK. Back in the
Yeah.
day, we said, listen, like either we're gonna kill you or
No, I'm pretty
you
sure.
guys go over
Anyways,
there.
let's not talk about this, Daryl. I'm pretty
No,
sure
but
they
this
tried
is
to
how
kill
it
him.
happened.
Okay.
No,
And don't say we, say they, because
Well-
neither one of our families were around back then.
No, mine was not on this continent. That's true. So not we, but it's like, listen, I'm not a Toronto Blue Jay either, but I'm part of the fucking team, man. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a we. Like,
Okay.
there's there something happened back in the day where a bunch of people came into Canada and said, like, we're taking this, or like you're gonna die or you're gonna be alive. And if you want to be
Sure.
alive, you're gonna go over there, and we're gonna leave you alone. We're not gonna tax you. You could do your own fucking thing. And what
Yeah.
did they instead of fighting? I wasn't there, TK, and this
Yeah.
could all be made up on the spot for comedic purposes, but it
That
may be
nothing's changed
true.
as far as the
Okay,
rest of our content. Yeah.
it might be true. These guys decided to go and live their lives with nature and do some crazy drugs and drink some weird shit, and now like they want their land back. And I don't think it works that way. You have to like mount an attack. You have to take it back. You have to be stronger. You can't just go to court and get your land back, can
All
you?
right. So what would change that would be if we became part of the 51st state, because the
Oh
Americans would come in and then it
man.
would be a whole new deal there. But let's go. Let's move on from this
Yeah.
topic,
Well,
please,
let's
before we
say
get canceled.
let
All right.
well let hold on.
So
Let's say we did get do they would just completely obliterate the Indians, the Americans. If we
all
became,
those rights would just be gone.
yeah,
They
they'd
would
be
just be
like,
like,
shut the
what? You guys
fuck
signed what
up.
contracts?
Yeah.
Let me read that thing.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, let me see that.
So, anyways, all right, let's talk about this because this is the last thing we got to talk about. So, fighting
Last
delays,
thing.
building faster act 2025.
We better come up with more stuff. What time is it? Oh, okay, we're good.
Huge. Okay.
What's
So,
this? What's this?
fighting delays and building faster act
This is
2025. This
huge,
is
you
the
think?
new proposed bill.
You think this is huge?
This is like hot topic this week.
Hot topic. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But it's not going to mean anything.
Well, listen, I'm a landlord, so to me, having a few small changes to the landlord tenant board makes a difference.
Like
Okay.
what? Which ones?
So you got ability to raise new issues on the day of rent arrears hearing is no longer going to be allowed. So now a tenant, unless they've come up with the issues that they have, that they want to address, they can't just be like, well, I owe you money because you never fixed the roof leak. You know what I mean? So you got to be, trying to be very,
Document.
in advance, raising those type of issues. Okay.
Mhm. Why,
Unless if they
before
want,
they could just
if
make
they
shit
want to
up at
have
the
any
hearing?
new issues at all brought up during the hearing, so like before the hearing, they want to have that issue addressed, they have to pay 50% of the arrears. So at least the landlord has some money, okay, in their pocket, and then they can dispute over who owes who. But you can't be like, you didn't fix that $500 hole in the ceiling, so I withheld $30,000 worth of rent, because that's what people do. They show up and they're like, well, he never painted the bathroom after the mold on the ceiling and da 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 da, and you could still see it,
Look at this
right?
paint chip.
So they got to pay 50% more of that. If there's N8 serves, so the people who are persistently late, they're going to define persistently late, because serving an N8 over and over and over and over again never leads to anything, and that you never actually get the eviction. The adjudicator is just like, you promise to pay next time on time? Okay, and that to be actually get an order where if they are ever one day late again is easily challenged and it never goes anywhere. Compensation requirements. So before it used to be you have to pay them 1 month's rent to leave. Now they're saying if you give them, that's a 60-day N12 notice. Now they're saying on a 120-day notice, you don't have to pay them anything. So there is no rent compensation, which is pretty cool actually. Because a lot of people, the 60 days is short when they're legitimately wanting to move in. And for them, giving them 1 month's rent's a big deal. And so now it's like, no, I'm not going to give you any rent. It also helps us negotiate with tenants, because when we're negotiating with tenants, we're going to say, look, we're going to take you to the board. We're going to get you out, and that you're only going to get 1 month's rent. Right now, I'll give you cash or keys. We'll give you 3 months rent to leave. So it's a negotiation point. Now I'll be able to say, we'll give you an N12 and we're going to give you nothing because we'll give you 120 days notice.
Yeah.
So you're going to get $0 or you take $5,000 today to leave, and let's get this show on the road here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually those are problematic tenants that you're going to be doing that. Rent arrears eviction notice period. So when you serve an N4, there's 14-day period. Now you can start filing your eviction after 7 days. So that's a little bit faster. And that they're obviously trying to find more information on getting orders and decisions easily accessible, which helps with transparency. And some lease term stuff that is being changed too. But there's also a lot of development stuff, development tract things there that I thought you might have understood. I sent you the link.
No, I've seen
like
it. It's
summary
all
of
a
it.
bunch of.
It helps. It adds. It adds.
But it's an idea. It's not even close yet, and it's
a
all
proposal.
stuff.
It's a proposal.
It's a proposal, and what
Sure.
happens after the proposal, if it doesn't get completely reamed and destroyed and rewritten, turns into a bunch of motions to do research, right? And to hire consultants to figure out how all this stuff is going to work. And then anything that actually does make it in to legislation, it's like, I don't even know how long it will
But they
be.
have a majority government. So if Doug and the boys are introducing it, like chances are this is going to go through, and it all seems very reasonable. So that's why it's important.
It's important from certain perspectives if the things happen the way that they're designed. But
But
what
it's
generally
also
happens is like even with a majority, things
yeah.
don't move fast, man.
But
I'm telling
you're so negative when it comes to the government.
it's not
Like
negative. I work
even
with
the
them.
create TO projects and all that kind of stuff, like they're breaking
Horrible.
grounds on a bunch of places.
But it's nothing. It's
But
bullshit.
they're still breaking ground on things. It's still
They're breaking,
progress. They weren't
yeah.
breaking ground before. We weren't making any changes to the legislation on the development side and the LTB side, and now we are.
Hold
We
on.
were
So,
asking for this, and we're like, oh, it's not enough. It's
no.
baby steps.
So you're in an environment right now where the government really wants construction to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
But the private markets do not. Okay. The private markets are very squeamish on giving their money towards these things at the moment.
Altera
And
is
so
doing the one create TO project with
hang on, hang on, hang on, hang
in
on.
Scarborough.
Yeah, there's a few guys doing them, like
Okay.
with Create TO. And I'm sure it's a wonderful deal for them. I'm sure it's great for the
They're
three
making money.
people that have deals. 100% they must be making money for
Yeah.
sure. So you have CMHC right now is the go-to for people, right? So you have to design some shitty building where they're going to believe the rents and they're going to buy into the whole thing, and then they're going to run you through this crazy ringer of trying to get the money. Okay. You're going to
Okay.
go to the private markets and they're all going to say, like, no fucking way right now, unless it's for 20% and we get 8% fees every month. And like, they don't want to let go of their money right now. Okay. So instead of making it easier for people that have legitimate sites that make sense, that should go ahead, right, and having funds for them to go forward, they have a ringamaroo of craziness. Or you have to be someone who knows someone, like on the site that you sent me, the one
But
on
if you
Merton
read,
Street, the
yeah,
one on Merton Street. Okay,
yeah,
look, Marquee Collective is Jennifer Keysmat, man. Jennifer,
okay,
well, she was the head planner of Toronto, so
yeah.
she knows how to get the money from those uh, programs. Okay, the money from those programs goes to certain people. It doesn't go to everybody that has a site that wants to build where the numbers make sense, right? It just goes to like,
People willing to scratch the city's back. That's it.
well, I don't even know how much back scratching or how much inside knowledge you have to like buy the site beside the Create TO site that they know is gonna be, merging to create this deal where you get all kinds of money to finally make a goddamn. Do you understand how many layers had to happen for that site to even evolve to this point? Like, first it had to be a failed site on its own, then it had to join with Create TO over the years and years, and you had to have like an ex-politician at the helm of this thing, right? Like, there's
Okay,
so, you know how long it's been and how long it will
I
still
know, but
take
I'm
to
just
get
saying that there.
494
I'm gonna be the
units.
voice of positivity here and say this is great. There's actually a lot of stuff about
But
development
hold
charges in
on.
there too.
Out of the 494 units that this Merton Street thing is bringing onto the market at Mount Pleasant and St. Clair, which is no, like, this is not a cheap area. Okay.
Davisville, yeah.
148 of them are affordable. Okay. So, like,
Okay.
and then affordable is not even that affordable if
But
you
I
know
don't care
how
about the
these things
affordable
work.
part. Bottom line is when the market has
It's
more
smoke
units available.
screens and
No, it's
bullshit is
not a
the
smoke
point.
screen. It's building units. It's just a simple math. Can we build more units? Can we not build more units? What's going to create more units? And that the Fighting Delays and Building Faster Act 2025 will lead to more profitability, which in turn leads to more units getting built. That's it.
No,
Bottom
listen,
line.
we've had so much new great planning that's come down the pipe lately. Okay.
Yeah.
No doubt. And guess what? It came at the wrong time when the environment needs not that, right? The environment doesn't need more planning. The environment needs fucking money injections like crazy.
Sure.
Easier, cheaper money. You know
But
what
it'll be
that
easier.
does?
It'll be easier to get though if your performer shows that you're going to make money, right or wrong.
No, look,
What do you mean?
I can't qualify for any of this stuff because it's luxury. Mine shows crazy amounts of money. I
Okay.
couldn't get it because sorry, like those are too nice or they're too expensive or they're too big.
One example on all the other projects that are out there right
Other
now,
ones
if they can show that they're going to make a higher return and that
no.
it's not going to help them get financing.
You see all kinds of
If they
guys out
reduce
there with deals that can't get the financing
if they
or
reduce development charges in
you're
different
not.
cities,
Yeah, listen, those kind of
yeah,
things will start to make a difference
and that'll
100%.
help with financing. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. In Brampton, who gives a shit? Right? Like
people in Brampton give a shit.
you need it in Toronto. You need it
We've
in the
already got a lot of condos in
Engines.
Toronto. The people who should be building will build. The people who have equity, the people who have money, they'll build. But in all these other areas where we need help and we need the big guys who have money, there's no lack. There's no issue with money right now, Daryl.
There's a big issue with
There's
people
there's a big
putting
issue people
money.
letting go of their money. Yes. But as far as
Yeah.
people who have money who could put it into projects, it exists. It's out
Oh,
there.
it
It's
exists. It's
just
out there.
they're
They're
not
just
going to give it to anybody.
not
They're
right
going to hang
now.
on to it because they don't want to lose it, which is very good because they gave money to people over the last 5 years. We got one private lender. He had 10 million out there
Yeah.
and he is power sale on everything. It was just
Everything.
like he had 10 million and he was just like giving all these deals, a lot of commercial properties. And it was
Yeah.
like he came to us with like some sites and like we told him the truth about the pricing. He didn't want to hear about that. So he's got them listed with someone else. But every one of his projects that we know about, all right now are under power sale because he lent the money out, recklessly, basically.
It's not the debt that's the problem, TK. Listen, I know guys who have multiple great sites. Okay. I know guys who are raising funds that have great sites in the portfolio, and
Mhm.
it's very difficult right now. Okay.
Okay. But
Now
right now we
that's
got HST coming off of the purpose-built rentals. If development charges came off completely,
yeah, these
100%,
guys are
would that move
using
the needle?
every trick in the book. These
Would
guys are
that move the needle?
it's moving the needle. It's just
Yeah.
it's not it's you got to understand the rates that people are willing to let part their with their money at are crazy. They don't help the pro forma, right? So
Okay.
when these guys get it to like this like razor thin, if something goes wrong, we're fucked. But
I
it
just
looks good
got
to
a
the
commercial
banks.
mortgage this week. Me personally, I got a commercial mortgage.
Mortgage
This
is
What do you think my rate? What do you
different.
think my rate was?
On a commercial mortgage on what?
A multifamily.
How the hell would I know? I don't know.
What would be your guess?
7%.
4.7%.
4.7%.
Fix with BMO. Yeah.
But that's a totally different thing
I'm
that
just
we're
I'm
talking
just
about.
I'm just saying though, people are saying it's so hard to get the money. I know.
It's
the high
dead.
risk
You're
high risk
talking-
deals are hard to get.
It's like you're talking about apples and I'm trying to talk about bananas over
I'm
here.
telling you
You're not
about
listening.
the whole entire
You got apples.
supermarket, the fruit section, that there's money out there that can be had.
TK.
Yeah.
You can get
You're in
debt.
denial.
No,
You're in denial.
you can get a mortgage.
you're in
Anybody can get a mortgage if you have
Okay.
the right equity.
And so
But
what
if
I'm
you
trying to say is
can't
the security
get
and
the
the site
equity-
that I brought to BMO was enough for them to say, hey, we can give you a great rate. When you have high net worth, you've got a great site, you've got a marketable product, you've got development charges down so that your expenses overall and soft costs are going to be lower in order to be able to ensure that there's less risk,
Yeah.
you'll see the rates are a lot lower. But when
We're
you're
not
like
talking
I need-
about debt, man. We're talking about equity.
I'm telling you the same thing. The
It's
people
not even close to the same.
I'm telling you the same thing right now is money
You're
that's
telling
being
me this-
available.
No, those are totally different. You can go get a mortgage at 60% or 70% or 50% on a great product everywhere. Okay.
Okay.
No problem. From all
Well,
kinds
then
of
the
people.
short
great
answer is
rates.
if you don't have the equity, then you shouldn't be doing that site.
Maybe.
That's the short answer. That you don't like to hear.
Maybe. Well, I definitely think that is true. Okay.
Yeah.
But part of the formula, at least up until now, or
Yes.
even including now, is that you would put in a bunch of your equity, you would raise more equity, and you would raise debt, and you would
Yeah.
do the deal.
And
And
the same,
now what I'm saying is it's very fucking tricky out there to get people to let go of their equity.
sure. And
But
the same way that the banks will underwrite a deal for the debt, is the
Yeah.
same way people will underwrite a deal for their equity. And that somebody knows if they're getting a 20% return, that it comes at a high risk. And then
Not
if they give it to their buddy who they know is going to get the job done,
You're not
and
you're not
that
talking a multiplex here. You're talking a
I'm talking
land
about equity
development
on a
deal.
land development
It's
deal.
very different. It's
I'm
very
tell
different
I'm
than having
I'm
a
telling you it's very different for
who's
the
putting
average developer.
you have like maybe Graybrook right now
Okay.
that can raise equity like easily. You see,
Okay.
how come everybody else isn't just raising equity and doing purpose-built rentals on their properties? How come Menkes and
Because they're
Mattamy,
because their performers right now don't
okay,
allow them to do it.
but they can just get money because they're big and they can show that it makes money on a pro forma and they can just get equity because all these people are just willing to give it out right now. It's not the case. Okay. It really, truly isn't the case. Now, yes, there are deals that are getting equity. Okay.
Mhm.
But they grinded and it took 10 times longer than it normally would have to
Mhm.
raise the equity. Right. Most people are not used to raising this kind of equity for development deals because they're all condo guys. Nobody was doing rental. Right. So now you got all these guys that are shifting over to rental that are trying to raise the equity necessary with the old formula, and the whole market is like,
I'm
I
just going
don't
to give you an example,
know.
Daryl. I'm going to give you an example.
Give me an example.
How fast did we raise the equity for on Thelma and why?
No, but you don't even know how fast or how slow we raised the money on Thelma and why.
Okay.
And I actually think, even though you think it was fast,
Yeah.
okay, I think a year earlier it would have
Yeah.
been twice as fast.
Agreed.
I
And a
think
year later, it would have been
No,
maybe
but we
never
offered
happened.
a very
Yeah.
different deal than would ever normally be offered in order to
Yeah.
entice people, right? And it was a very different deal at a very different time. But I think it took way longer than I anticipated originally, for
Okay.
sure. And it was not as easy as anticipated, even though the
Okay. But
deal
it
is so
did go
great.
smooth and it was a great deal and that it shows that the equity's out there for the right
Yes.
projects. But that being
I'm
said,
not
Daryl,
talking about my projects,
I gotta
TK.
pick up my younger son from jiu-jitsu class. So we gotta end this. But if people are still listening right now and they want to hear Daryl and I argue next week,
Yeah.
all right, you got to like, you got to comment, you got to subscribe, you got to hit the bell, and then we're going to be back next week. And we're going to be back with more Blue Jay news, good news, World
Good
Series
Blue
news.
Jays
All
news.
right, don't forget.
I
Oh,
gotta go to a
and
Halloween party and
there's
watch it
another
tonight.
game. There's another game, and when this airs,
When this airs, there will have been a second.
yeah,
Yeah, there'll be a game tonight that we
yeah,
won. I would
yeah,
imagine.
it's Saturday morning today, so you know. I don't know what the results are of tonight's game, but just so you guys know when this was recorded, we don't
Yeah,
know the results of
we were
tonight's game.
very happy about last night.
We don't know.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
but if you want to drop a call with me, there's a link down below in the description to book a 15-minute call.
Yes.
Daryl,
And you can check me out on my Substack, the Frankfort Report, and onethelma.com. You can check out if you want to look at what's going on. The building is ripe and ready. We are about, well, it's weird. Like there's so many people calling and people have been begging for months. I think maybe we're sold out already, TK. It's possible. And then
if
I
you do
woke
want to
up,
buy a unit at the best luxury building in all of
best
Canada,
location in Canada,
amazing location. I went to the sales event
best
recently
team.
of a project that like thinks that they're luxury, and it's like it doesn't compare. It's just another
Well,
condo.
it's
This is like
another
a real residence for the ultra wealthy. That's the truth.
custom. Everyone will be custom,
Yeah.
customized, unique to the individual. No packages, TK.
No
We're not picking
packages.
from
There's
packages.
nobody knows what you've got inside your unit because
No
you
launch,
picked your stuff.
no launch, no parties, no bullshit. OneThelma.com.